Hello, my name is Brijesh Giri and here I am going to talk about a topic from solution chapter, that is solubility of gas in liquid state. Okay, so suppose if we have solute a gaseous substance but solvent is liquid state, then how the solubility of this gas will be affected by various factors. What is the Henry law, what will be the applications of Henry law, and what will be the limitations of Henry law. We will talk about all these here. Okay, so first we have to understand the term, what does it mean by the solubility. Solubility simply means the maximum amount of solute that is present in a solution, that is fixed in amount at particular temperature. Okay, so solubility means maximum amount of solute that is present in fixed amount of solution at a fixed temperature, at a particular temperature. Okay, temperature should be fixed, particular temperature. If we alter the temperature, then solubility will also change. Okay, so we can say that solubility simply means the concentration of saturated solution. When we cannot dissolve more amount of solute, then solution becomes saturated, and that particular solution, the concentration of solution is called solubility. So when we talk about the solubility of gas in liquid, that means gas in liquid, so solute is gas and solvent is liquid. We are making a solution in which solute is gas and solvent is liquid. So what will be the various factors which will affect its solubility in the liquid? So various factors affecting solubility of gas in liquid. We are going to talk about one by one all these factors. Okay, first factors, that is nature of gas. What type of gas we are dissolving in and what type of solvent, it will affect its solubility. Okay, so when suppose we are dissolving any polar gas in polar solvent, so polar solute can easily get dissolved in polar solvent, but a non-polar solute cannot easily dissolve in polar solvent. Okay, so polar solute easily dissolve in polar solvent, non-polar solute easily get dissolved in non-polar solvent. That means if our gas is polar and also the solvent is also polar, then it can get dissolved easily. Suppose we have HCl gas, and HCl gas, it is the polar. Okay, so when we dissolve this gas in any polar solvent, that is suppose H2O, it is also polar. So HCl gas can dissolve more easily compared to, we talk about CH4 gas, C2H4 gas. Okay, so the solubility of HCl gas in water will be more compared to CH4 and C2H4 because these two gases are non-polar gases. So polar gas can easily dissolve in polar solvent. Okay, so the first one is the nature of gas. Okay, the second factor which is going to affect the solubility is temperature. Okay, second factor is temperature. How the temperature affects its solubility? When we dissolve any gas in liquid, suppose sorry, this is liquid and this is gaseous particle. Okay, when this gaseous particle get dissolved in liquid, then liquid particle make bond with this gaseous particle, and when any bond is formed, that is exothermic process. Formation of bond is exothermic process. So Bond formation is exothermic process. Bond formation is exothermic process and gas particle is making bond with liquid. That means dissolution of gas in liquid also a exothermic process. If this is exothermic process, then when we dissolve gas plus any solvent, it will make solution and some amount of heat is liberated here. Okay, so if we are changing the temperature, then how it is going to affect its solubility? Suppose we are increasing the temperature. If temperature is increased, then heat is already released here and we are making the condition worse. Okay, so we are increasing its temperature, then this gas plus solvent equals to solute. This reaction will come backward according to Le Chatelier principle. When we increase any substance in product side, so we are increasing the heat in product side, so that means this reaction will come backward, and when this reaction go backward, that means from solution gas and solvent will get separated. So when temperature is increased, solubility decreases because reaction go backward direction. When we remove this heat from here, that means we decrease the temperature from here. If we decrease the temperature, then reaction will go forward direction to compensate that heat. Okay, so that means this will go forward direction, and when this reaction go forward direction, that means gas plus solvent will make solution. That means gas will easily get dissolved in the solution. So solubility will increase. Sorry. Okay, so nature of gas, polar gas will easily get dissolved. Temperature, when temperature decreases, then solubility increases. Okay, the next factor we are going to talk about here is if any gas react with solvent particle. Suppose we have a gas which get reacted with solvent particle, then its solubility will automatically increases. Okay, let's take an example. Suppose we have ammonia gas, NH3 gas. Okay, when we dissolve this gas in liquid, NH3 plus we are dissolving this in H2O, then it will make a compound NH4OH. Okay, and if this gas get reacted with H2O solvent particle and make another substance, then the NH3 here get reacted. Okay, so solubility of NH3 increases. Okay, this is converting into NH4OH, so NH3 is removed from here. That means we can dissolve more amount of ammonia here. So when any substance which we are dissolving, any gas which we are dissolving in liquid get reacted with the liquid particles, then the solubility of this gas automatically increases. Okay, fourth point is if any gas gets ionized in the solvent, then solubility of this also increases. That means here is example. Here is HCl gas and we are dissolving this gas in H2O. So this is converting into H plus aqueous plus Cl minus aqueous, and H2O particles make bond with H plus and also Cl minus, like this H plus OH H minus. Here many H2O particles get bonded with this H plus and also this Cl minus. So HCl which we dissolve in the liquid get converted into H plus and Cl minus and make bond with water particle. That means HCl can get easily remain in this solution. Okay, and if HCl can easily remain in the solution, that means solubility of HCl gas also increases. Okay, so that means solubility increases if ionization of gas ionization of gas increases. If gas gets ionized, then its solubility in liquid state increases. Okay. The next point we are going to talk here is boiling point of gas. Boiling point of gas. This is also affect the solubility of gas in liquid state. If suppose we have a gas A which has boiling point 10 degrees centigrade. A gas A has boiling point 10 degrees centigrade. A gas B has boiling point suppose 70 degrees centigrade. Okay, and we are dissolving both of these gases in water at 80 degree centigrade. So water at 80 is liquid state, this is liquid, and these are at 80 degree centigrade, both are gases. Okay, so when this A gas converted into gas at 10 degree centigrade, we increased its temperature from 10 degree to 80. That means increase of 70 degrees centigrade. So because of this high temperature gap at 80 degrees centigrade, this A has high interparticle space, and also the kinetic energy of particle A will be very high. When we compare with B gas, that means we have increased the temperature just 10 degrees centigrade. The temperature of A is increased by 70 degree, but temperature of B is just increased to increased by 10 degrees centigrade to reach at 80 degrees centigrade. Okay, so if we increase the temperature in very less amount, so that means the interparticle space is more in gases, but compared to A, the interparticle space of B is less. Okay, so interparticle space is less, and also the kinetic energy that achieved by the gaseous particle is also less. So kinetic energy is less. So interparticle space is less, kinetic energy is less. That means if interparticle space is almost similar to liquid particle, it is slightly increased but almost similar to liquid particle, but here the interparticle space is very high. Interparticle space is very high of A, so it is very difficult to dissolve this A gas into the liquid, but B can dissolve easily compared to A in the liquid. Okay, so if boiling point is high, gas can get dissolved easily. That means if boiling point is high, solubility is also high. Solubility will also high because it is getting dissolved easily. And if boiling point is low, then solubility of gases will also decreases at point of time. Okay, so here we have discussed these points. If gas gets ionized, if gas get reacted with solvent particle, if boiling point of gas is also high, so these all factors affect the solubility of gas. Now we will talk about the most important factor which affect the solubility of gas is pressure. Why pressure affect the solubility of gas to a high extent? Because the interparticle space of gas is very high. The interparticle of space of gas is very high. Suppose we have this gas. The very slightly amount of increase in pressure will decrease its interparticle space. That means gases are highly compressible. Gases are highly compressible. So when we increase the temperature, then interparticle space increases. But when we increase the pressure, interparticle जो space है, interparticle space gets decreased, and that means it is similar to liquid, somewhere near to liquid, so that it can dissolve easily. Okay, so when pressure gets increased, interparticle space decreases and gases can get dissolved in liquid easily, and this phenomenon is explained by Henry law. Henry law. So now we are going to talk about what is Henry law. Okay, the effect of pressure is explained by the Henry law. Suppose we have a container, and in this container, this is liquid A, and this is gas B. This is liquid A, this is gas B. Okay, and this gas, due to this gas B, here is any pressure is generated, because gases always put pressure on the container wall because they collide with each other and generate pressure. Okay, so when they collide with a container wall, when they collide in another particle of gas, they create pressure. So because of this B, the pressure is PB. We can say this is PB. In this, because of this pressure, the amount of gas B dissolved in this liquid is suppose WB. WB is the amount of gas dissolved in the A. Okay, and amount of A is WA. This is the weight of A, this is the weight of V. Okay, and WA plus WB is making a solution, because in A WB is dissolved, so it is making a solution. Now what Henry law say, that solubility of gas, or we can say amount of gas dissolved in any liquid, that means this is the amount of gas dissolved in liquid A, this is liquid, this is gas, is directly proportional to the partial pressure of gas. That means amount of gas, that is WB, is directly proportional to partial pressure of gas above the surface of liquid. This is the surface of liquid, and above this the partial pressure of gas is PB. So that means solubility of gas, yani amount of gas, is directly proportional to partial pressure of gas, above the surface of liquid, So what is the partial pressure of gas above surface of liquid? This is surface of liquid, and this is partial pressure of gas, PB. Okay, this is the amount of gas WB is get dissolved in liquid A. Okay, that means WB, amount of gas dissolved in liquid, WB is directly proportional to PB, partial pressure of gas above the surface of liquid. So WB is directly proportional to PB, or we can say WB is equals to any constant and PB. Okay, WB is the amount of gas, PB is the partial pressure of gas above the surface of liquid, WA is the amount of liquid. And this is the very common form of Henry law, but when we divide this WB by WA, and here also I divide it by WA, we can do that, and when we multiply, WB divided by WA is already there, but when we multiply MB MA upon MB in this, and also in both side, MA upon MB, and here is KPB WA. Okay, so first I have divided this whole equation by WA, then multiplied by MA upon MB. And what is here MA? MA is molar mass of solvent. Here A is the solvent, so MA is the molar mass of solvent. MB is molar mass of solute, which is gas. MB is the molar mass of solute. WA is amount of solvent in solution. This is the solution, and in this the WA is amount of solvent, WB is the amount of solute, which is gas. Okay, so WB is amount of solute in solution, or we can say amount of gas dissolved in liquid. Okay, so here is WB. I can write this WB upon MB, this is MB, WB upon MB, and WA upon, I can take this MA from here to here, so I can write like this. Okay, this is 1 upon WA upon MA. Okay, this side, this is just MA upon MB, K PB upon WA. K is constant here. Okay, WB upon MB, that means given mass upon molar mass. Given mass upon molar mass is moles. Given mass upon molar mass is moles of gas. WA upon MA, given mass of solvent divided by molar mass of solvent, that is equal to NA, moles of A, equals to, that is MA upon MB, K PB upon WA. Okay, now when we calculate the mole fraction of gas in any solution, that means I want to calculate XB, that is mole fraction of B. B is the gas, so mole fraction of gas in this solution will be the moles of gas divided by total moles of solution, that is NB plus NA, moles of solute plus moles of solvent. This is the mole fraction of gas. But suppose I am telling that if the solubility of gas is very low, the amount of gas dissolved in liquid is very less. So if NB is very less compared to NA, NB is very less compared to NA, so I can simply neglect this NB from here. That means NB plus NA can be written as NA, because the NB amount is very less. So I can write simply as NA. That means if NB plus NA can be written as NA, then it is NB divided by this can be written as NA. So this is NA. That means mole fraction of B is equal to NB upon NA. Okay. So here NB upon NA can be written as mole fraction. Okay. So here I can write NB upon NA as XB. So this is XB equals to MA upon MB, MA upon MB, K PB upon WA. Okay, if I take all these constant from this side to this side, MA, MB, K, WA, all are constant. PB can be changed. So PB equals to, here PB equals to, send all these constant into this side. So here is XB and MB is reached here in WA. So MB WA divided by MA and K, MA and K, all these are constant and it is XB. Okay, so it can be written as this whole values MB upon MA, WA upon K can be written as KH into XB. Okay, so it can be written PB equals to KH XB, KH XB. And partial pressure of gas equals to KH. KH is the constant here called Henry constant. XB is the mole fraction of gas in the liquid. Okay, so we have reached here. Now this KB, this KH is called Henry constant. We have reached here. P equals to KH XB. That means partial pressure of gas. That means partial pressure of gas. Here XB is the mole fraction of gas. So I can say that mole fraction of gas in liquid state, or we can say mole fraction of gas in solution is directly proportional to partial pressure. This is partial pressure of gas. So that means I can write PB directly proportional to XB, XB directly proportional to PB. So mole fraction of gas is directly proportional to partial pressure of gas. Okay, and this mole fraction is in solution. Okay, so mole fraction of gas in solution is directly proportional to partial pressure of gas above the surface of liquid. Okay, so mole fraction of gas in solution is directly proportional to partial pressure of gas above the surface of liquid, This is our Henry law in terms of mole fraction. Okay, now what is Henry law? PB equals to KHXB. Okay, so I can write like this: mole fraction of gas in solution is directly proportional to partial pressure of gas above the surface of liquid. I can also write this like this: PB upon XB, or like I can write it KH equals to XB. XB is the mole fraction of gas, that means it is the solubility. This is representing the solubility. That means XB is inversely proportional to, that is 1 upon KH, that means XB is inversely proportional to KH. So if value of KH increases, that means XB decreases. If value of KH decreases, XB is increases. So if Henry constant of any gas, KH is the Henry constant which depends on a gas, it differs from one gas to another. So if Henry constant of any gas is higher, then solubility of that gas will be lower. If Henry constant of gas gets lower, then solubility of that gas in liquid will be higher. So these both are inversely proportional to each other. So, okay, so this is how solubility of gas depends on partial pressure as well as the KH of the gas. Okay, now we can draw a graph here. This is suppose PB, this is XB, then graph will pass through the origin and it will be like this, and KH will be the slope will be the KH. Okay, this is how graph between PB and XB will be drawn. Okay, now this is complete Henry law. Now we will discuss about the applications of Henry law. Okay, what are the various applications of this Henry law? We will discuss one by one. Okay, so applications. What is Henry law? Henry law is PB equals to KH XB. That means when partial pressure gets increased, the solubility also gets increased. So in carbonated drink, we have to dissolve CO2 in water. In carbonated drink, CO2 gas is dissolved in water. So if we have to dissolve more amount of CO2 in water, then we have to increase the pressure. So when pressure is increased, solubility of CO2 is also gets increased in water. So these carbonated drinks are packed at very high pressure. Also, to increase the solubility, we have to reduce the temperature also. So carbonated drink are packed at high pressure as well as temperature is low. So they are served as at low temperature. They get refrigerated before serving. Okay, so pressure should be high, temperature should be low to increase the solubility of CO2 in water. Okay, So that is how Henry law is applicable here. Now the next point will be when sea divers gets into the in deep sea level. Okay, when suppose this is the level of sea, the pressure increases as we go and deep. Okay, as well as we go deep inside the sea, then the pressure is increased because pressure is rho gh. So as well as height increased, depth increases, then the pressure will also gets increased. So when sea divers are taking oxygen, suppose they are taking air with them. So in air there is 21% is O2, 78% is around nitrogen gas, 78 or 79% is around nitrogen gas. So when we take this type of cylinder, in deep sea level, here pressure is very high, very high. Okay, so when pressure is very high, then this nitrogen gas which is available in more amount get dissolved in blood easily. At high pressure solubility is high. So N2 get dissolved in blood easily. Okay, so this N2 gas get dissolved in blood easily. So at high pressure, if N2 is get dissolved easily, then when we come to the surface, here pressure is less compared to this. Okay, so when pressure decreases, then this N2 gas which get dissolved at high pressure, but at low pressure solubility becomes low. So this N2 gas which dissolved in blood comes out from the blood. So suppose this is our capillaries. In this N2 is dissolved, but because of low pressure this N2 gas comes out, and this comes out as a bubble form, in the form of bubbles. So when blood is flowing in capillaries, this N2 bubbles make travel of blood difficult, because blood cannot go through these bubbles. Okay, so these N2 blocks the path of blood, and when path of blood gets blocked by the N2, then a serious medical condition is created, which is called bend. In this, a severe pain is caused, and sometimes this capillary can also burst, because these N2 bubbles have blocked the path of blood. So it created a medical condition called bend. And if we have to solve this problem, then we must decrease the amount of gas, as well as we have to mix a gas which has high KH value, because if KH is high, then solubility is low. So when we mixed any type of gas in this which has high KH value, then its solubility in blood become low. So when solubility is low, then it will not dissolve in blood, and if it will not dissolve in blood, then how it will come out from blood? Okay, so helium gas has high KH value. So its solubility in blood is very low. So we mixed helium in this. We don't use this type of composition. We use around 31% is oxygen, around 31.2% is of oxygen, 11.2% is of helium, and around 55% is of nitrogen gas. So nitrogen gas is reduced from 78 to 55%. Is a small amount of helium that is added in this, because helium do not get dissolved easily in the blood. Okay, and this oxygen also get increased. So okay, so here is carbonated drink are packed at high pressure and the nitrogen is replaced by helium in when deep sea divers uses oxygen gas cylinders. A next application of this Henry law is when at higher altitude in mountains the pressure is very low. In higher altitude the pressure is very low. So if pressure is low at higher mountains, then oxygen gas do not dissolve easily in blood. Okay, O2 do not dissolved easily in blood. So if O2 gas do not dissolve easily in blood, then how will it reach to the every muscle of our body? Okay, so muscle of our body do not get oxygen properly. So if oxygen is less to the muscle, then it will create a problem. This is called anoxia. In this problem the mountaineers do not able to think. Okay, so in this problem anoxia, and they feel very weak, so they are unable to think and they feel very weak. Okay, so in this problem the amount of oxygen is very less because of low pressure. So we have to increase the percentage oxygen in their gas cylinders. Okay, in their gas cylinder we have to increase the oxygen percentage. So whatever amount they inhale, so amount of oxygen in that will be very high. So the oxygen can reach to the every part of our body. Okay? So this is the applications of Henry law. These are the applications. So what are the applications? The pressure, at high pressure carbonated drink are packed and the helium gas is mixed with the oxygen gas cylinder of sea divers, and enriched amount of oxygen, more amount of oxygen is packed in a gas cylinder of people which live in the high mountains or the mountaineers which go on high altitude levels. Okay, now we are going to talk about the limitations of Henry law. What are the limitations of this Henry law? We will talk about this. Henry law is not valid all the times. Okay, limitation of Henry law. As we have calculated Henry law, when we calculated NB upon Na plus Nb, here we take Nb as very less, so we neglected it. Okay, so if we neglected it, that means solubility of gas should not be very high. If solubility of gas is very high, then we cannot neglect this value. Okay, so the first limitation of Henry law is solubility of gas should not be very high. Also, Henry law is only applicable when gas do not dissociate in the solvent. Okay, if any gas, suppose this is HCl, when we dissolve HCl in H2O, it get dissociated into H plus aqueous and Cl minus aqueous. So if this kind of gas we do not use in Henry law applications, that means Henry law is not applicable on HCl gas because this gas get dissociated in the solvent. So gas should not dissociate in solvent. Okay, in solvent, if gas should not dissociate, then we can apply Henry law here. Okay, otherwise from here Henry law is not applicable. Henry law not applicable for HCl. Okay, and also when any gas react with solvent particle and any chemical reaction takes place, then also we cannot use Henry law. That means if we are dissolving NH3 in water, NH3 plus H2O becomes NH4OH and the solubility of NH3 gets increased. So if there is chemical reaction taking place in the solution, in the solvent, okay, then we do not apply Henry law here. Henry law is not valid for NH3 in water, okay, because they are, both of them are getting reacted to each other, and if any type of chemical reaction takes place between the gas particles and the solvent particle, then we do not apply Henry law here. So Henry law is not valid. Henry law is not valid for NH3 in H2O. When we dissolve NH3 in H2O, then we cannot simply apply the Henry law here. So solubility of gas should not be very high. Gas should not dissociate in the solvent. Henry law is not valid for NH3 because gas should not react. Gas should not react with solvent particle. With the solvent particle. This is these three are the limitation. Next limitation we can talk about is when temperature is very low. When temperature is very low, then solubility of gas will become high. That means temperature should not be very low in when we apply the Henry law. Okay, so Henry law is not valid. Henry law is not valid. When temperature is very low. When temperature is very low. So temperature should not be very low. Also, when the solubility will increase in terms of pressure. So when pressure is high, solubility is very high. So that means pressure should not be very high. Pressure should not be very high. Otherwise, Henry law will not be applicable. Okay. So these are the limitations of Henry law. Which one? Solubility of gas should not be very high. Second one is gas should not react with the solvent particle. Gas should not dissociate into the solvent. Pressure should not be very high and temperature should not be very low. These all are the factors which we cannot apply the Henry law here. Okay. So we have already discussed the solubility of gas in liquid. What is solubility? The maximum amount of solute that can be dissolved in solution. And after that we talked about the various factors which affect the solubility of gas in liquid, then Henry law, its applications and its limitation. Hope this is clear. Thank you very much.